Any day now. Oh, come on. Well, it says I am live. There we are. Now, can I hear myself? There we go. Yep, I can hear myself. Hello everyone, Bubble Ninja 720 here, bringing you part 157 of my livestream playthrough for Final Fantasy XIV. You're continuing on with the MSQ. Let's get on with it. Hero, come to make our trio a quartet, have you? Please have a seat, and we'll see about getting you a drink.
Your business with Chitauri was finished?
Yep.
My, what a thoughtful surprise. Whatever would we do without her?
Indeed. And she's right, you know. It hasn't been all doom and gloom.
Feels like a lifetime ago that Master Louis Soir gathered us together to form the Circle of Knowing. Since then, we have experienced much. But rather than feeling wiser, the more I learn, the more I find my knowledge lacking.
Forsooth. As a student, vainly did I believe that I held the secrets of creation in my grasp. Yet that which I had seized was but an insignificant sliver of what awaited in the wider world. Every encounter, every experience hath served to open mine eyes, enlightening and humbling me in equal measure. Even from those whom I called enemies have I learned many a valuable lesson.
What will we learn at the edge of the universe, I wonder?
Lots of things. It's gonna be rough.
Ultima Thule, where the bringer of the end makes her nest. I, for one, can't possibly imagine. But whatever awaits us there, we will survive. We must. For her.
Nothing left to prove. Not Tareen nor Menphilia. We'll get through this together. Just make sure you bring enough ammunition. Yeah, I'm gonna say the first one.
Is aught the matter?
No, it's nothing. I just... Well, lately I find myself surprised at how much I've changed. How much we've all changed.
We've come far together, and if we have aught to say about it, we'll go further still. Aye, we will avert this calamity and return home. In preparation for which, we must give thought to what we hope to achieve after the proverbial dust has settled.
What with the primals and Ascians all but dealt with, I suppose we'll need to look for new hobbies. In all seriousness, though. In uniting to overcome a common foe, the disparate peoples of the world have found a way forward together. It's a truly gratifying sight to see.
Indeed. Though it was many years in the making, we have successfully set in motion the gears of fundamental change. With this, we have fulfilled our humble role as a symbol of hope. And I dare say it is time to bow out. After all, there is no shortage of hands to bear the torch in our stead.
You know, I never really considered I might live long enough to see an after. But even if my time as a scion came to an end, I don't expect that much will change. Traveling the world, going wherever the wind blows, lending a hand to those in need.
A journey for journey's sake. It doth suit thee well. I must confess, I too have yearned to see more of the world. If thou art amenable to the suggestion, I would accompany thee. Mine ability to effect an air of normalcy through artful disguise is much improved, thou must concede.
Aye, well, improvement is relative. You still look suspicious no matter what you wear. What of you, Ishtola? Any grand plans?
Why, continue my quest for knowledge, naturally. To begin with, I wish to know the state of the reflections, to which end I must find a means to travel between worlds. 'Tis the least I must do if I am to keep my promise.
Huh.
Should my pursuits prove unduly arduous, I won't hesitate to call on you. And in return, I will take you to see Reen one day. I'm sure you cannot wait to see the fine young woman she has become.
Spare me.
And what of thee? What wouldst thou pursue at duty's end?
Here's yours. My apologies for the wait.
Well, shall we make a toast?
I mean, yours is probably almost done.
To victory.
To our comrades.
To the future of the star.
Damn, that pizza looks good right now. Leaving so soon. I suppose it's for the best, if you'd rather not explore the bottom of a bottle with Orion J. I dare say the others would welcome your company as well, if you can find them, that is. In any case, as long as you make the most of your time, then that is all that matters. Kinda wanna go hang out with this Stinian. Oops, I probably could have ported closer. That's better. Oh, he's actually dressed up in finery.
Oh. What brings you here? Ah, so you were worried that the Levier household might again be gripped by turmoil. All is well, I assure you. In my letters home, I had made mention of Estinian, you see. My mother wished to meet the legend in person, and so we arranged to have a spot of tea together.
Where were you in my hour of need? Fell beasts I can face, but I'm not made for idle chit-chat with lords and ladies.
Well, I for one thought you held your own. Mother was the picture of delight.
I might have been delighted myself, were we in a tavern with more agreeable drink. The thought of fleeing crossed my mind, but what then? I'd never hear the end of it, least of all from Tataru.
I'm sorry. 'Twas not my intent to cause you such distress. It's just... it was one of the things I didn't want to leave undone ere we set forth. That's not to say I think we won't be returning. Yet, given what lies ahead, I did not wish to leave for later that which I could do today.
Smart thing.
After all, tomorrow is never promised.
True.
It's fine. Not like I had better things to do. Besides, seeing you with your mother brought back fond memories of my own. Be we rich or poor, family is family. Well, it's past time we were on our way.
Oh, I wish this was longer.
Wait! Since I left home, I've made a great many mistakes. Mistakes for which I can never make amends. But through it all, you didn't give up on me. To have returned here with you at my side, it means more to me than you know.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of came in at the tail end, but okay.
Thank you. From the bottom of my heart.
And we're not done yet.
Forgive me, but it needed to be said.
I'm the one who owes you thanks. Were it not for you, I would not be alive today, nor come to terms with Nidhogg's spirit. I am ever grateful.
Huh. But I suppose I ought to thank you both as well. You were never one to forsake a friend, Delphino. I'll be counting on you. Yeah, we'll say thank to both as well.
Well, we needn't make it a competition. You know, this must be what Hydaelyn meant when she spoke about depending on one another. However treacherous the road before us, together we will prevail.
I'm gonna do my utmost to try and get this last leg of the missions done, so that way I can get to my credendum gear. I'll be able to grind that out. Sweet. How nice. Ooh. We shall give it to... Yeah, we'll give it to Astro. Journey's End. That's another thing that kind of, since it's a buff, you kind of lose it whenever you swap classes. The jog ability. Same thing with sprint. Don't accidentally hit sprint and then swap your jobs, because it'll immediately break it. Oh, hero, I have come to the studium in order to study the ways of pudding. Alas, my creations don't jiggle as they should just yet, but I persevere. Huh. Interesting. Uh-oh. They're asleep. You try speaking with Alice, but she is fast asleep. Should probably wake him up. Am I gonna sit there and take a nap with them? No, it's Cryle.
Oh. Knowing them, they're probably dreaming about the celestial adventures to come. Just as well. They've been running themselves ragged of late. Unlike you and the others, I'm a few steps removed from the danger and excitement. The things you all get up to never fail to impress me. But by the same token, I can't help but worry. Not only for your safety, but for your happiness. After everything you've sacrificed, you earned it 1,000 times over.
Mm-hmm.
From the simple pleasures of tucking into a hearty meal or collapsing into a comfortable bed, to the grand triumphs of visiting legendary lands or finding true love, you deserve all the joy in the world. There is so much that life has to offer, so much to be treasured and shared with those we hold dear. So promise me this. Come what may, you won't give up on your own happiness. When you're out there fighting tooth and nail, it's all too easy to forget. But in the end, your passions will be your greatest strength of all. Remember that.
Sure thing. He's awake.
This feels familiar. Well, 'tis good to be... wait. What am I... Gods, don't tell me I fell asleep.
Yep.
Not that there's any shame in it, but you were sleeping like babies.
Oh, how embarrassing.
Not a word to anyone. Understood? Not one word.
I'm told that sleeping in proper beds of your own choosing is a much more effective way to prepare for battle.
So, what were the two of you doing here?
I had a few books to return to the library. Thought I'd take care of it while I could.
And you?
It's a secret, just enjoying a little peace and quiet. Nothing in particular. I'm gonna say just enjoying a little peace and quiet. They're buttering us up. They're getting us nice and tasty so they can ruin our emotions in the story to come. Welcome back, hero. Return to catch a final few weeks before embarking on your mission, I presume. You'll be happy to know your chambers have been cleaned and fresh linens laid out. I pray you enjoy the sweetest dreams on this final night before the big day. Retire to my chambers? Yes, I think I shall. Let's get this XP. That night at the Royal Menagerie in El Amigo. Oh shit, is it gonna be who I think? Yep. I thought about it.
You will never get what you want. Not even the battle you pine for so dearly.
Oh, I guess he took those words to heart.
In that transcendent moment, what was it that I sought in you? And what was it that you sought in me?
And thus it dawns. The day of reckoning. So after everything's said and done, we get the main story quest done. I gotta go and get flying on all the zones because we're gonna be running around a little bit. Then we can do the post, and then we can get the Dawn Trail. Be at current content.
How often have we thus assembled? To combine our knowledge and seek solutions to the problems before us.
Back at the Waking Sands, it was all we could do to address the most minor of troubles. Who could have realized what we'd find when we began to look to the sources of the realm's woes?
Yeah, I remember that. At least Menphilia was there. And then we had Bone Breeder.
At the Rising Stones, we made great strides and shared many moments. From the joyous to the sorrowful.
And Papalimo.
We've had occasion to call other places home too.
And of course we had quote-unquote Ida, which was Lys.
Be it Ishgard or Kugane, we were fortunate to find sanctuary wherein we might take stock and continue our fight.
I was honored to host this company in the Crystarium, to stand with you all as we confronted the truth of the star itself.
And now from this place, we go to fight the most important battle of all. The Forum has sent word. The Ark is ready.
The Ark.
The Loporrits naturally will be commanding the vessel. They will see the 8 of you to Ultima Thule. Upon arriving, your objective is to find and vanquish Meteon. As a final formality, the Forum bade me ascertain your resolve. So, are you certain you wish to do this?
Never been more certain.
We are.
Then, ere you report to Thalmasane, I leave you with these words. You must triumph. What that means will differ for each of you. To make it back home, or to simply avert doom, or perhaps something else altogether.
Notice how they gave us exactly 8 people.
Yet whatever it is that drives you, I have faith in its power to see you through. So please, triumph. Triumph, as we who remain behind believe you will.
Let us be off then.
Oh, Tataru.
Wait! Both Kryl and I will be there to see you off, but as your receptionist, I feel I need to say this here. Safe journey, all of you, and be safe.
You too, Tataru, you can count on it. Ojika. So we're on Unto the Heavens. So that leaves us with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, actually we ooh, snaps. We got like 12 more missions left. I suppose this is where we part ways, for now at least. Would that I had sage words of wisdom to share ere you depart. Mayhap the teachings of Galuf Baldessian will suffice. Surrender not to anger or hatred, he said. Look beyond them, and there find true strength. What one sees beyond is open to interpretation, I think, but for me, it would be the things I cherish most in life, things I believe are worth fighting for. Something to consider as you venture onto the sea of stars. And where? Oh yeah. We're going to Thaumasine, so I need to go to the center of Labyrinthos. Pardon. Ah, Master Hero, I have been made aware of your coming. Please use the lift here. Sure. If I could fly, I wouldn't need to use the lifts anymore, because you could just fly to the to everywhere. So peppered in these last 12 missions is 1 duty and 1 dungeon. Or 1 trial and 1 dungeon. 2 duties. So, we're gonna have those to contend with. Ah, such splendid, our vessel to the unknown reaches of existence.
All present and accounted for? Good. As you will have heard, the Ark is ready. All that remains is to board and be on your way.
Notice his voice sounds a little different. It's not as dark as it used to be.
I've seen my fair share of tight schedules, but this was bloody murder. But we did it. We finished the ship. It's safe, fit for purpose, and looks good to boot. Aye, it's a garland through and through.
I really don't know what we'd do without you. Thank you for everything.
Well, the work was hard, but we've learned a lot from it. After all, it's not every day you get tasked with building a starfaring vessel. In case you're wondering about payment, the ongoing existence of the world ought to do. But feel free to throw in a colorful recounting of your journey on your return. So, have you thought of a name?
A name? Wasn't everyone just calling it Father's teeny tiny toy boat?
Well, seeing as its purpose has changed, I thought a more eloquent name was in order. I suggested as much to Fortuno, who seemed quite amenable to the idea.
As you know, this vessel is the culmination of heretofore unprecedented collaboration. And though said collaboration is owed to the Scions, there is another whose noble deeds made our work possible. From a fragment of Dalamud, we obtained not only advanced materials such as refined adamantite, but the knowledge to traverse the stars. And this fragment would not have found its way to us had the Archon Louisoix not fought to protect this world. And in so doing, laid down his life.
Oh, that's why they renamed it.
Now that the vessel stands complete, I cannot help but wonder if it was more than mere happenstance. If it was my father's intention to guide us here. In the hopes that his guidance will see you all safely home, I name the vessel after that self-same fragment of Dalamud he delivered unto us. The starship Ragnarok.
Sorry for the wait. Got everyone you asked for, and not a one less.
What are you all doing here?
Oh, I invited them. The representatives of those tribes with religious inclinations. You've done a fine job of readying the Ragnarok, but for it to take flight, we'll of course need the power of the Mother Crystal. Given its immense size, however, transporting it would be an absolute logistical nightmare, not to mention we'd need to shatter it into tiny shards for feeding to the engines. But a brilliant idea came to me. We convert the crystal's energy into forms that can transport themselves!
Y'all see this is going right.
Thou wouldst employ summoning, or should I say its precursor, creation magics.
Care to explain for our benefit?
As you may have witnessed at Bestway's Burrow, the Loporrits are capable of creation magics, which they use to shape the moon's environment. Yet simple though they make it seem, 'tis a highly advanced and exacting art. To perform it correctly, requireth that the wielder holdeth the object in his mind's eye in clearest detail.
hence the ancients' meticulous management of concepts.
Drawing upon this art, the Ascians conceived of summoning as we know it. A derivative that replaceth the complexity of concepts with the simplicity of zealotry to make manifest a creation.
I see. By combining the Loporrit's magics and the tribe's faith, we convert the Mother Crystal into primals of purer form and greater obedience. Summoning as it was intended, one might say.
Indeed! Indeed! While Heidelin gave us the ability to use creation magics, she forbade us from using it to make anything possessed of a soul, or similar. She didn't say anything about fulfilling the desires of others, though. So, borrowing our friend's faith, we'll create deities using the Mother Crystal's power and send them to the Ragnarok!
Am I the only one here concerned about the risk of being turned into a tempered minion?
Oh, right, I was getting to that. From what I've read in Sharlayan tomes, it appears the Ascians incorporated an additional nasty element into their summoning method. The fervent desire to assimilate others into one's belief. Beings thus created are instilled with the self-same desire and use their powers to enthrall people, starting with the summoner. In contrast, our creation magics, the original and the best, except no substitutes, don't incorporate any of that rubbish, so there's no risk of tempering. I mean, if the being was on the scale of Zodiac, you might feel a little tug, but I think we'll be safe enough.
Truth be told, I do not understand the intricacies of this plan. But none of us would ever turn our backs on you. When the avatars of our faith ran amok, you intervened without decrying we who birthed them. Where others vilified and suppressed us, you offered understanding and friendship.
I also killed without impunity, so the door swings both ways on that, Sorbonne.
In gratitude, we will share with you the true expressions of our gods. Not malevolent deities, but benevolent saviors.
Alright, you lot, we're heading to the ethereal sea. Stay in sight, else you're liable to get lost.
Lead the way!
May we have a moment? In anticipation of the day man might journey to the stars, we developed these.
Portable teleportation devices. One for each of you, designed to work in tandem.
I thought it was a Pokedex.
Press the button on one, and in a matter of moments, all 8 will activate and send their owners back to the Ragnarok. There is no telling what hazards you may encounter. If you find yourself separated or lost, please, do not hesitate to use them. Be safe, all of you, and come back.
You as well. I pray you take care.
Looks like everything is in order, so I'll go ahead and board. A few of my fellows will remain to assist with the summonings, but rest assured, the vessel won't want for competent crewing.
If you are ready, then you should board as well.
Go.
And Godspeed.
I just also noticed this, the Scion team is elf heavy. Not that it really matters, of course. If you come this way, I will direct you to the bridge. Upon boarding the Ragnarok, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Are you prepared to board the Ragnarok? Yes, let's do this. I'm only 40 minutes into this stream. I still have the better part of the entire stream. There's that massive bridge with a lot of empty area. Sleeping away. Oh, shit.
Welcome to the bridge, everyone! I hope you have everything, because I can't be bothered turning back. Right then, make yourselves comfortable. We're setting off in just a moment.
There's not enough seating for everyone.
It's incredible.
This is Fortuno. Can you hear me? The preparations for the summonings are complete. In accordance with the 14th phase of the plan, we have moved the Ragnarok to the launch site. The gates are open. You may depart when ready.
Heard.
So, are we ready?
As ready as we'll ever be. Let's get going.
Oh, come on. The burnt-out star's got more fire in its belly. Try it again, with feeling.
Oh, please tell me I get to say it. Issue the command to launch. Have Alphino do the honors. Ooh. I'm gonna have Alphino do it.
Me? But I...
No need to be coy, brother. Do it, and do it well.
I'll pass the limelight off.
Insist.
Onward unto the distant stars and beyond.
Ragnarok, engage!
Could've just went with that last part.
Engage! Engage!
Now we got a Voltron thing going on. Waiting for those primals to pop up. Oh, here we go. Lakshmi. Didn't catch that one. There's Leviathan. Ravana, Bismarck, great, King Mooglebog. I think that other one might have been Susanna. No, it wasn't Susanna. There's Garuda.
Ah! That I must carry landwalkers into the sky! I cannot imagine a greater indignity!
Do not sulk so, for thy mighty winds exist not only to buffet and batter. Nay, they may serve also to thrust forth with vigor. Such is thy glory, and thus it is an occasion to rejoice. So come, let us revel!
It was Rambo, that's what it was.
So long as the wind blows freely, I suppose all is as it should be in creation. I will render unto them a storm, that they may pierce the firmament and fly free!
You think Ramu would have said something, but I don't know. Ah, interesting. Notice how we didn't have the Magus sisters, we didn't have Bahamut, we didn't have, let's see, who else? Anima. Ixion didn't pop up, Odin didn't pop up. Of course we didn't get, man, what was her name? I forgot her name already. Dang. One of my favorite fights, too, and I can't even remember it. Tsukiyomi, there we go.
Still in one piece? Good. Sleeping way? Report?
All's well. Fantastic, even. Thanks to the power of those primals, the engines are roaring and we're ripping along.
All values are also within projected ranges. Time to destination is 8 carats. Perhaps 7 at a pinch.
8 carats.
Alright, let's go over some points of caution. Our destination, as you know, is Ultima Thule. Lest you wonder, the place is not a star so much as a patch of emptiness. That's the extent of what our equipment could determine, anyway. From what we know of Meteon, she's likely used dynamis to obfuscate her location.
So, in conclusion, we'll only know what's there when we get there.
The crew and I will see to it the ship's ready to take off at a moment's notice. We'll support the search as best we can, but it'll be your paws on the ground, assuming there is any. But everything will be fine, I'm sure. Hydaelyn believes in you, so you ought to believe in yourselves.
There's a huge glaring problem. Breathing.
Just don't do anything I wouldn't. Like waiting too long to use those portable teleporters of yours. Personally, at the slightest sign of trouble, I'd mash the button to bits. And you should as well.
Understood. We promise to be careful.
I suggest you brace yourselves. We're about to arrive and the vessel will shake a good bit.
That doesn't sound good.
What is this? Something is interfering with the equipment.
Greetings.
Uh-oh.
Greetings. Can you hear me?
It's her, the bringer of despair, and I'm gonna say Medion.
So this is Meteon.
Oh. Have you met one of my sisters? I don't remember meeting you myself. But I do know that you're from Atheris. Why have you come? All you had to do was wait. I would have delivered to you your ends.
We didn't ask for that.
I don't understand. All life is destined to end. Why choose to prolong your suffering? Effort, ambition, love, they amount to naught. Happiness, should you find it, is inevitably lost. Stolen away by events beyond your control. There is no logic nor meaning in it. You think there is. Convince yourselves. But it's all a cruel accident. Come now. I speak the truth. A truth you would recognize if you looked up at the night sky. Unbroken emptiness. Cold, dark, and silent. Your world, like every other, is but a blemish upon its perfect fabric. Life is an anomaly. It is unnatural and cannot continue. The sooner you accept this, the easier it will be.
Just to be clear, we're not here to argue with you. We know that life is fleeting, and that in the short time we have it, we're not assured happiness.
Indeed. I've seen far more sorrow in the eyes of many I've met. I myself have plenty of regrets. And one day they'll die with me. Gone to dust with my good deeds and unfulfilled dreams.
But we accept this. That our existence may seem pointless. That sorrow, rage, and despair will always dog our heels. And we press on regardless. That is why Hydaelyn guided us here. In her boundless love for mankind, she has prepared us for this trial, and in her name, we have come for you.
Yes, I sense it. A burning passion like unto fury. I know it well. For the same passion once burned in many a star before yours. Suffocated and extinguished now.
Uh-oh.
I can't breathe.
You approach the bounds of my ultimatum, where emotions dictate reality, where resignation and acceptance unite to embrace the end, where those who yet valiantly cling to life can thrive.
Dang, Thancred, you last longer than me?
fury. Thancred?
Meteon has gone as well. Mayhap he awakened first and gave chase.
Everyone? It appears we are at our destination. This is Ultima Thule.
Not that we knew what to expect, but I wasn't expecting this. From atmospheric composition to ambient temperatures, all reading to within permissible range. This place is capable of supporting life.
Huh. Interesting. I guess I'm gonna be.
If that's the case, then Thancred may well have gone on ahead. Let's go and have a look.
I mean, if the doors aren't open, how do you get out?
Meanwhile, I want the rest of you to perform a full inspection of the ship, as well as a biological scan.
So it was that the brave wayfarers arrived at last at Dream's End. In following their path walked and history written, I am made keenly aware of one truth. Though the curtains may fall again and again, so long as others take the stage, ever shall there be more tales to tell. So, let them bring it to a close, I say. Let the curtains fall upon this, the final chapter in the tale of the star.
The furthest reaches.
Is this a dead star?
As I live and breathe, I live and breathe. Well, the environment itself shouldn't kill us.
Well then, let us search for Thancred while exploring the area. The ship we leave in your care.
I can't guarantee it will be of help in these strange surrounds, but I've readied a provisions note in case of emergency. Of course, if you encounter any real danger here, I expect you to return to the Ragnarok at once. Regal purple, I'll probably get the silver pieces. A strange new world. We are fortunate this place can support life, albeit barely, I suspect, given the torpid, stale quality of the air. But never mind that. We must find Thancred. Let's begin our search from the prow of the ship. It seems as good a direction as any. Try not to stray too far, lest we lose sight of one another. Oh, hefty. Looks like they're using Aether tethers. Ostrakhan Deca Octo. Oh. That's a dragon. And there's another dragon. Ruins, but of what, I wonder? Perhaps we could find something to help us understand the nature of this place. A relic, an inscription, anything. The metallic pillar has been partially melted, likely sometime in the distant past. The damage does not appear to have been inflicted deliberately. Rather, it calls to mind the indiscriminate destruction often wrought in the heat of battle. Look here, this part is relatively intact. The intricate design of the top suggests it is man-made, though its builders were surely not men as we conceive of them. Having said that, I swear I have seen this pattern before. Lefty! I thought this hill might afford a better view of our surroundings. A poor decision in hindsight. Beside the light from the ship, all is shrouded in darkness. If Thancred is here, I'd never know it. From what I can tell, we are near the edge of an island, if you can call it that, surrounded by floating debris. The vitrified fort. Were you able to find anything? Nope. As I feared, and still no trace of Thancred. There's nothing but emptiness as far as the eye can see, which unfortunately isn't very far. Though I can't help but suspect that someone or something is here. There are times when I sense it drawing close, and then a chill washes over me, leaving me exhausted. Leaving me with feelings of death and anguish. You know, there are dragons sitting around here. I think I might see something over there. I felt it too when I was near that thing. So the first thing. What are you talking about? There's nothing there. Before we jump to any conclusions, perhaps we should search elsewhere. Agreed. We've found only more questions when we are in desperate need of answers. There's a fair stretch of terrain from the ship's port side we've yet to explore. Let's try searching there then. Hero, a word before we join the others. So I guess they don't see the stellar dragons. So there's only 3 more aetherites. Another lesser stellar dragon this time. Oh no, you're not fighting me. Although later on I will fight you guys, because you guys dropped dynamis crystals that I could use as equipment materials. Like for crafting gear and the like, but I'm not going to need it for crafting gear, thankfully. You see them too, don't you? The dragons. As I thought, their presence is tenuous at best, but there's no mistaking it. No doubt your bond with Midgard Sormer and mine with Nidhogg is what allows us to perceive them. Could these apparitions be related to the dragons that now live on Aetheris? Bah! Better leave such conjecture to the others. In any case, we must be careful. We may soon find dragons they can see as well. Death and anguish. What happened to them, I wonder?
Dragons? Here?
What you see is a memory of a world that once was. A world suffering a slow death, whose denizens cried out for the release of oblivion.
What? Their world is dead?
It is. Not a single life remains upon that husk floating in the vast emptiness. These creatures are shadow and shade, perpetuated only to suffuse dynamis with their unending lamentations.
Our friend Thancred. Where is he?
A strange question. He is at your side, is he not? Oh, yes. He is here and there, and everywhere within this space. He would tell you himself if he had form to form words.
Ominous.
Huh. Such loathing and uncertainty. You don't know why you still exist. In like manner to the oblivion I send. I tried to drown out your ether with dynamis. Beginning with this Thancred, who came at me despite being unable to breathe. Such a simple thing, unmaking men. In the blinking of an eye, he was gone. Didn't even have the chance to be transformed. Yet somehow, he managed to leave a slither of himself behind. What you call the heart? Or perhaps the soul. In his final moment, he cried out from it. A single word. Survive.
Oh, survive.
That wish proved stronger than the despair that ruled here. It overpowered it, causing this space to be remade. Into a place you can perceive, and where life can endure. That you draw breath is proof that his soul lives on. For how long, however, remains to be seen.
Well then, we should hurry and tend to business.
Nice try.
It's futile. You will never reach the true me. I told you, emotions dictate reality in this space. Such changes as you might work will not alter in its nature. You may see, but you cannot touch. Walk, but not advance.
Meteon holds too much sway here. How do we contend with a foe who can unmake us on a whim?
I do not know. But Thancred gave his life that we might come this far. We must press on.
Agreed. We cannot turn tail here. Not without something to show for our comrade's sacrifice.
I'm gonna go and say that this part of the story, it's interesting, but the way that it's tied up at the end is not my favorite way of storytelling. This is like the weakest part would be the ending of this part for the story, in my opinion. Unburdened wings. Soul without body, a form of being with which we are not wholly unfamiliar. Indeed, for we existed in a similar state when residing in the first. The circumstances are rather more dire than that, 'tis true, but I choose to believe he is not forever lost to us. Regardless, in sacrifice he hath afforded us a chance to prevail. Let us not squander it, and ascertain the nature of this realm that we might confront and defeat Meteion. Estinian, hero, would you accompany me in speaking with these dragons? Mayhap they can enlighten us. I would ask the rest of you to survey these surrounds. If there is a path that may lead us to our quarry, we must find it. Very well. We can reconvene here when everyone is finished. Meteion said that these dragons are shadow and shade, from a world whose denizens sought oblivion. As such, they're not like to be amenable to company, let alone conversation, so please, be careful. Let us split up and gather what knowledge we may. Salosk. A visitor, not of this star. Could thy slender hands bring plague to our world, thy breath extinguish life's feeble flame, or how we would adore thee, alas. With time our flesh shall wither, our souls fade, and so we wait for its inexorable march unto oblivion. If thou art not come to hasten our demise, I bid thee leave us. We crave not companionship, only silence. Komnosk. Beyond that distant veil, paradise lost, so glorious, so beautiful. We were a proud and noble race, strength embodied. We knew only love before they came. Metal monstrosities of black and silver, no bonds of blood did they share, nor conviction did they have to guide them. A crushing defeat, never had we known such shame. Stilled now are the winds, though none could fill these wings burdened by ignominy. We fly no more, only sink into oblivion. Get this eighth right. Sweet. We're going to PR to Wayfesk. Thou wouldst bid me speak. Folly. I observed the lesson of stone. I shall not fly, nor speak, nor roar, only watch and wait and end. But one sight yet stirreth my blood, tempteth me to raise my voice in lamentation. Amnol, the cradle of unsung dragons. No words, no songs are possessed of the weight to describe such tragedy. Go if that be thy will, I shall remain. Alright, Lefty, let's do this. I'd say maybe get to 93. Oh. Fanale. I think that's a rank. They led you here as well, did they? It was described to me as the source of their woes and proof of their end. I think I'm beginning to see why. It's a hatching ground, or was. I've seen similar on Etheris. Midgard Sormer's kind must once have lived and thrived in a place such as this. Vritra said his father was driven from their ancestral home by war and strife. This, then, is the fate of those who remained. Let's have a look around. Maybe these eggs have more to tell of what happened here. Inside the shattered egg, you find the remains of an unborn dragon. The body has already begun to decompose. The gelatinous, half-dried membrane covering the corpse suggests it failed to emerge. A murky liquid has pooled inside of this eggshell. The noxious fetor is indicative of contamination. Gingerly lifting a large egg from the viscous mire, you peer inside to see a formless mass soaking in a pool of embryonic fluid. Your stomach turns as you return the egg to its resting place. This egg appears to have been broken from the inside out. Perhaps the dragonette within succeeded in hatching. What's this? I thought all the eggs would have been ruined. If the dragonette was indeed hatched, there's no sign of it here, or of its sire, for that matter. We should look for them. You start with the cliff tops, and I'll search the plains. I'll be going around that. I'll be going around this, too. How this is going to be annoying. Northeast. We just killed the baby dragon. The boisterous howling hath been quieted by thy hand, I presume. Everything all right? I thought I heard a dragon or something resembling one. I see what's happened here. Was that your child? Perhaps. Some eggs within Omnal are indeed mine. If life within one did quicken, the beast thou hast slain may be of my blood. Yet I do not recognize it, twisted and malformed as it is. Not a dragon in truth, but a reminder of our failure, a testament to our shame. Explain. Heartless machines. And with them rode war and death. With fire and fury, rage and rancor, we gave answer. 'Twas a long and bloody battle, but only the beginning. Untold chaos and destruction swept over the star. In the end, the invaders were victorious. Yet when they looked upon their prize, they deemed it unfit for requisition. We were abandoned to our ruin. The survivors sought to put away their shame to rebuild, a futile effort. In purest soil replete with ether did we once cultivate our resting grounds. But our lands were barren, and any eggs nurtured in such desolation were fated to rot. What few survived to hatch emerge as abominations. We shall have no new progeny. But there are dragons among you capable of journeying to other stars. That there are. Many would make the attempt, each bearing a clutch of eggs. The richest stars were home to the harshest rulers, and the arrival of dragons incited contests for supremacy. When the fires faded, the wars lost and won, they too were reduced to ash and waste. 'Tis the curse of those who seek life, to be drawn into conflict, to conquer or be conquered. A vicious cycle we now choose to break. We tire of conflict, of everything. We wait now in sweet, merciful silence, free from strife and suffering, still as stone. Wait, you claim your kind is doomed, but there's another star. He's talking about Aetheris. A test of will. They want only to brood in silence, to be left alone with their grief until time itself comes to an end. The sole reward for senseless bloodshed, a pain I understand, and wish that I did not. What fools we were. But now isn't the time for such thoughts. The others will want to hear what we've learned. Come. I'm still waiting for an update for 7 Days to Die. The next update, where they overhaul the biomes and stuff. They're gonna add a bunch more. They added 2 new tiers of zombies for difficulty after irradiated. They're making the biomes have their own element. I think there's radiation, heat, storms, stuff like that, sandstorms. New POIs, there's new Zeds. I'm waiting for it because I think when it pops, my save state is going to be butt kiss. So I'll have to start anew. Which would be all well and good to start over again due to the fact that it's gotten kind of stale for my current save state since I'm at a point where I can pretty much fend off anything. Were you able to establish any meaningful contact with the dragons? But I will get back to 7 Days to Die when it updates, and I will do 2 different playthroughs. It's going to be a regular one, and then there's going to be one where it's Oopsal Blood Moons. That one's going to be a lot more hectic, but you guys are probably going to enjoy it because I'll be pretty much screaming my head off. I see, they wish to escape what they perceive to be a cycle of conflict. Thank you, hero, Estinian. As for our part, I believe we are more acutely aware of our confines than before. We started by traversing the perimeter of the island to see if there might be a path leading off of it. Sadly, there was nothing to be found. There's no small amount of debris floating about. Could there be enough to serve as a bridge to lead us elsewhere? I considered that, and so I tried throwing a stone onto a potential platform to judge its integrity, but it never reached its mark. As it crossed an invisible threshold just beyond the boundaries of this island, it vanished, only to reappear above me and fall at my feet. I would not be too quick to presume that what we see outside this space is as it appears. Which is why I returned to the Ragnarok and asked the Lopera to search for a potential path. However, the ship's instruments failed to provide conclusive data on the surrounding area. Until we know more, I think it too risky to attempt flying to another island. Well, Medion told us before that emotions dictate reality here might be the key, but I'm not entirely sure what emotions might manifest a bridge to lead us to safety. So what you're saying is we've no way forward. At present, aye. If it is indeed emotion that governs this island, perhaps it is not Medion's, but the dragons that holds us here. They tire of conflict and have chosen a path of oblivion to escape it. Or rather, they have chosen no path at all, meaning there is no way for the dragons or any other on this island to advance. A sound theory, disheartening though it may be. that is the case, what recourse do we have? They are not like to be persuaded to help us. Their reasoning is built on a history of turmoil and strife. Without irrefutable proof, the future is not as bleak as they believe it to be. Mayhap persuasion is not the answer. Midian meant to unmake us then and there on the Ragnarok, and she would have succeeded if not for Thanker's determination. She conceded it was strong enough to overpower the despair that otherwise rules Ultima Thule, and reshape it to a degree. Perhaps it can be done again in like manner, by overpowering the prevailing emotions. 'Twas Ultima Thule's architect, Midian herself, against whom Thancred did pit himself in a clash of wills. Though I marked no leader among them, as such, I did chance to encounter a dragon possessed of despair far more than potent than most. Potent enough, mayhap, to dictate the course of others, and thus their domain to follow. He spoke but few words, carefully chosen, their tone and timbre along threatening to rend my heart in twain. Alone threatening. Challenging his desire to remain may allow us to alter the island upon which we stand. Alas, I fear my vaunted rhetoric availed me not against his calcifying heart, but mayhap one of you will fare better. Then I shall guide thee. Al-End, they call him, in the dragon tongue. Thou wilt find him nearby, eyes fixed upon the water. Well, what have we to lose? Let's get going. Oh, this is a long-ass ride. Hefty will take us. Water does look pretty polluted.
He remaineth as he was when I first approached, entombed in melancholy.
I see. Perhaps I could...
I'll handle this.
Waiting to die like all the others, are you?
This
Done? Okay. Aye, our pride is crushed and our souls corrupted. The winds are stilled and the heavens offer no comfort. There's nothing left for our kind. Our long lives a curse as we wait the end. Still as stone we shall become.
So you say. Yet your kind has found a new beginning on our star. One of you braved the expanse, bearing with him a clutch of eggs. They and their children now rule our skies, their song heard by all.
Our kin on another star. And yet, upon thee do I smell the blood of my brethren. Were they drawn into discord and war on their new home?
They were. They suffered much, and repaid their suffering in kind.
It mattereth not whither we fly. Ever will a sanguine ocean await us. Ever will retribution's wheel turn. And so, on the last of my pride as a dragon, I break free of this wheel. I renounce conflict, exile myself from the other, never again to be touched by the flames of hatred.
Had your brethren made the selfsame choice, my family might still be alive. Yet lasting peace does not come to those who simply retreat from conflict. No, you must be willing to confront it, to stare into the face of your foe, and see yourself in him. Only then can you break the cycle of torment and tragedy. This lesson, a dear friend taught me at the risk of his life. There is no nobility in your penance. You wallow in self-pity. And after everything we've endured, we will not let you stop us.
Estinian!
Stay back!
We tire of war, we tire of turmoil. Dignity tarnished, crimson stained. Our misery, our shame, too much to bear. Release us from war, from life.
That bars our way. The rest is up to you.
No! Not Estinian too!
There's a wind. He's opened the way for us. Sacrificed himself to remake this place, like Thancred did.
Oh, Alphino.
Come. Let us follow the wind. It will not lead us astray. He would not.
Alright, Hefty, let's move on to the next area. Look there, the wind. This is Estinian's doing, I'm sure of it. We should ride its flow and see where it leads. Alright, I'll do it first. Man, it punts me. A powerful gale has delivered you to another island. The other scions should arrive before long. He did it. He found a way forward for us. Is it truly forward? The dragons remained trapped within a prison of their own making, lamenting the horrors of war. Yet Estinian knew them better than most. He was a man of honor and a dear friend, willing to fight to the very end for what he believed was right. And he's still fighting Alphino, just like Thancred. Their sacrifices are why we can survive here, why we still have a chance to stop her. Even in spirit, they're unwilling to give in to despair, and we mustn't either. Alice is right. We must press on, for their sake. Roads paved in sacrifice. As Justola and Alice said, we must continue. You notice how the quest names are starting to get corrupted? Notice the change in our surroundings. Perhaps this is the memory of an altogether different world. So it'd be prudent to learn more of it then. Tread carefully, lest we lose our footing in the sand. How about I float above the sand? Were it not for the violet crystal embedded in its surface, 'twould appear as ordinary stone. A curious script hath been etched upon them. Alas, it is not a language with which I am familiar. I cannot say I recognize it either. Nor I. The dragons, from what I recall, preserve their knowledge in song and eschew the written word entirely, so we may assume this is the work of another race, one we have yet to encounter. Medion claimed the dragon's world suffered a slow death, seeking the release of oblivion. What life we find here, like as not, doth wend its way toward the similar end. What do you suppose that is over there? I'm not sure. It's hard to make out at this distance, but its surface seems to bear the same crystal as this monument. Meaning, there's a chance to find whoever built both of them. Built them both. We should go on and have a look. Come on. I see a confluence of an ether current. We're gonna go and gobble that up. Yum, 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 yum. Oh, that's a lot of baddies. Holy craigies. Yay, the first Aether Current. Closest one is an Elpis and Thavnir. Well, Elpis is closer, but Thavnir and Garlemald are the same. I didn't even try to do any of the others. It's a drifting figure. Hail, travelers. This is a most unexpected occurrence. Oh, hello there. Is this your home? Indeed it is. Forgive me, I had forgotten. An exchange of introductions is expected when first meeting those with whom one is unacquainted. When the vibration of vocal folds was still required to convey our thoughts and intention, Ia, I believe, was the pronunciation used when referring to our people. Though it is not entirely applicable given our present state, you are welcome to use this appellation. As for nomenclature to address my individual person, I believe it would be pronounced Kofkudge. Yes, Kofkudge of the Ia. We have encountered beings that communicate intermittently through thought, but never one that is wholly without voice. I presume we are having this conversation via the medium of ether, or dynamis, as this space is suffused with vast quantities of it. Fascinating in either case. I gather your response to my presence is positive, then. That is all well, for there is something I wish to ask of you. Like yourselves, we Ia are aether-based life forms. Therefore, it may be surmised that your bodies are of comparable biological composition to those we once possessed. I have a number of queries regarding your subjective perception of the five senses: sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell. In total, I have prepared 198,712,180,827. That's rather a lot, isn't it? My apologies. I have omitted a great many details necessary to understand the nature of my request. Though we dispensed with our corporeal vessels long ago, we have rediscovered a need for the flesh, and have endeavored to recreate our erstwhile forms. However, all pertinent records have been lost due to the passage of time. Take, for example, the nervous system. It is well within our power to recreate, but we have no frame of reference for sensations once experienced by our people, which may compromise our ability to interact with our physical environment. And the reason you need to regain corporeal forms... why, to bring an end to our existence, of course. Though need is perhaps too strong a word. It would be a simple matter to unmake ourselves through use of etheric exsanguinators, but such a death seems inadequate. The traditionalists among us believe proper death requires an inescapable sense of impermanence in one's final moments, an experience found only with bodies of flesh. We should very much like to hear more of your plans. In exchange, we will answer any questions you have to the best of our ability. Such an exchange of information would indeed prove useful. Very well. To ensure efficacious exchange, I hereby invite you to our home. Yes, the abode of the Ia, where we traditionalists prepare for our demise. I presume your consent to answer questions is indicative of a tacit approval of our plans, in which case your cooperation is greatly appreciated. I must caution you, however, to be mindful of the Ia wandering the desert. Their desire for bodies of flesh could be described as overzealous. Now, if you would follow me... This is going rather smoothly, not that I'm complaining, mind. Even so, he mustn't forget their aim is oblivion, much like the dragons. Though I fail to see why a civilization so seemingly advanced would choose to unmake all they have created. At any rate, we will find no answers dallying here. Let us be on our way. It's a Luminian. Basically an enemy where they use little shapes to form into enemies. It's either like discs or something with a core. They look kind of doofy. Hey, I'm almost dead to the next Aetherite. Welcome to our abode. Most of our compeers, you will find, remain idle in their domiciles, though your quizzical expressions indicate my phrasing is unclear. I speak, of course, of the violet crystalline constructs hanging from the stone structures here. You say they remain idle, but what of your work to regain corporeal bodies? An astute question, and understandable, given your finite nature. We have no desire to pursue our research, for it is no longer necessary. If, in our idleness, we are struck by sudden inspiration, we rise to pursue said inspiration to its conclusion. That is why I was present for your arrival, and why I continue to engage with you still. But, while the others are not currently in a motile state, rest assured they would not object were you to disturb their respite. You need only cast your thoughts towards one of their crystalline domiciles to communicate. That's a lot of people to talk to. Woof. Hello. Horsey looks very specific. That might be another A rank. You cast your thoughts towards the crystalline domicile, but there is no response. Let's see if this is an A rank. Oh, no, that's not an A rank. That is actually a person on a mount. That is one of the mounts you can get. It's actually a very pricey mount, too. I think that was from treasure hunting. As a 90, I believe. You wish to speak? Very well. Pray a moment, if you would. That was kind of difficult to read. Why seek our end, you ask? If you wish to know, I will tell you. Just a moment, I must remember. What form did I take when last I emerged? The strange moaning comes and goes, but soon fades into silence. I need to get the Aetherite. Or I already did attune to it, I guess. Did your inquiries yield satisfactory responses? I see. If they failed to answer, then it is likely because their minds have unraveled due to prolonged idleness. They are not but concentrated ether now. Worry not, there are no others who have need of those lodgings, and they will not prove a hindrance to remain as they are. But more importantly, you said some few did answer your request for an audience, yes? I imagine they will be with us ere long. Flesh abandoned, looks like. That means we got 7 missions left. I had no luck, but everyone else fared well enough. Quite a few of you have awakened. Ah, there they are. May I introduce you to Lack, Du, Deek, and Need. It has been too long, Kuf Kud. I dare say Saturn IV has since completed an orbit. Indeed. Until the travelers brought it to my attention, I hadn't noticed how unraveled some had become. Travelers? Ah, of course. The ones who wish to know why we seek to regain corporeal forms. The truth of the matter is as plain to see as the neighboring systems, but my single account would fail to satisfy the requirement for scientific objectivity. Thus did I bid them awaken you. Am I the only one who struggles to tell who is speaking? Nay, thou art not. And the absence of corporeal forms and the divergence they afford, mayhap such a similarity in voice is unavoidable. By the way, Kof Kudgit, have you already observed the requisite custom for the travelers? That which one is expected to do when receiving guests, a matter of proper form. Yes, so long has it been. It had completely escaped my mind, and still does. What was it again? I can't seem to remember. Neither do I. Pity. I was hoping you would. Perhaps we can search the archives for the answer. Come now, Need. The archives have long been frozen, lest we subject ourselves to further dolor. Surely you recall that much. Ah, of course. Food. The custom is to serve food. Beings of flesh such as they must regularly replenish their ether. By contributing to their replenishment, we communicate our friendly intention. That's right. We duly invite you to join us in communal repast, after which we may engage in leisurely conversation. If we have a chance to learn something, then I see no reason to decline. Excellent. If you would care to follow, we shall feast you on the purest ether. That sounded weird. 7 missions left. This facility is where we replenish our ether. There is no particular name for it, but we traditionalists sometimes use the word restaurant. Now then, if you would take your place with your comrades, the space will soon be awash with purest ether. Please absorb as much as you like. I don't think I have the bed mount. It has to be this one, though. Oops. I'm almost. Am I supposed to? Oh, I'm supposed to stand at destination. Okay. Sorry, I was talking with guildies. You brace yourself for a rush of sweet, sweet ether, but nothing seems to happen. Perhaps you need to wait a little longer. You brace yourself again, but again, nothing seems to happen. Just as I had suspected, as meticulously as one might recreate the Iya's homeworld, this is Ultima Thule. One cannot simply generate ether here. As recreations, our friends are oblivious to this fact, to the very truth of their existence, much like the phantoms of the recreated Amarat. However appearances may seem, we must ever be mindful that it is the memories of the dead with whom we deal. So, did you have your fill of ether? Alas, we couldn't absorb it. A deficiency in our forms, it would seem. Oh, how very unfortunate. May I ask you how you normally replenish your ether? Through your mouths, you say. How very primitive and quaint. To think that their mouths serve not only to expel sound, but draw in sustenance besides. Such life forms have long since vanished from our systems. Though we regrettably could not partake of your magnificent feast, rest assured we feel your welcome most keenly. In the course of acquainting ourselves with your sophisticated ways, however, we could not fail but wonder, wherefore do you wish to obtain vessels of flesh and then to vanish? Will you not favor us with an explanation? You flesh and blood beings are always so hasty. It does have its charm, however. Very well, we shall indulge you. In the beginning, when the Iya yet possessed corporeal bodies, our ancestors dedicated themselves to the pursuit of knowledge and technological advancement. By transcending all limitations, we believed we would eliminate sorrow and abide in true happiness. From the tangible such as land to the intangible such as labor, there exist myriad hindrances into progress. But the most confining of all was the flesh itself. Our natural lifespan was distressingly middling, you see. Too short to enjoy unhurried lives, yet too long to be considered disposable. Furthermore, to simply maintain the integrity of our bodies demanded considerable resources. But we managed to solve this problem. After long years, we discovered how to become non-corporeal entities with everlasting lives, untroubled by the failures of the flesh. Thus changed, we had more time and freedom to continue our scientific pursuits. We went on to make ever greater strides in our quest to transcend all limitations, until we finally decided to challenge the last of them all, the limit of knowledge. That is to say, deciphering the laws of creation. We sought to discover how the universe came into being and explain all extant phenomena, and thence predict the future. If we could but achieve this, we believed that we would be free from uncertainty and anxiety. And did you find the answers you sought? Yes, we did. Our efforts revealed to us a fundamental truth. Knowledge of said truth is essential for the continuation of our conversation. If you would learn more, we will share it with you. No, we mustn't. Primitive as they are, it would be unspeakably cruel to deprive them of their ignorance. They are possessed of corporeal forms, their lives readily ended. As those who have gone before, is it not our duty to warn them? What thinkest thou? We have deliberated and come to a consensus. If you are resolved to know it, we will disclose to you the truth we discovered, the truth of the universe. Seek us at the stone pillars just outside the bounds of the abode, a place called Elegea. I think we know who's going next. A fundamental truth. We will hear it, of course. Let us learn what has led such an enlightened people to this indolent end. I was reading guild stuff, sorry. Where knowledge leads. Ere we join the Ia, there is one trifling matter I would fain investigate. Hero Grahatia, may I trouble you for your assistance? But of course. My thanks. We shall head outside the abode if you would kindly follow me. I know not what mischief you are plotting, Urianje, but I trust you have our best interests at heart. The rest of us shall go on ahead to Elegea. Lest you worry, we won't start without you. Aye, this place shall serve. Is it the spring that you wish to investigate? Pray forgive me, my friends, but there is naught to investigate. 'Twas but a pretense to speak in private. Give me a second, I need a drink. The last of my smoothie. You have our undivided attention. As we have established here in Ultima Thule, those denizens of ruined stars are recreated in their twilight days. Yet one question doth arise in my mind. So faithfully formed are the simulacra, they believe themselves yet amongst the living. How dost thou suppose this is possible? Medion has taken their hearts onto herself. Medion made contact with them while they still lived. I couldn't begin to guess. I'm going to say the first one. I'm inclined to agree. If Medion can take the emotions of others as her own, I dare say she would be able to recreate them more faithfully than had she relied on any historical account. By which logic, she must have visited them while they still lived, the dragons and the Ia both. So too did I theorize, and upon that assumption consider how those two races may have met their demise. According to thine own tale, Medion perceiveth the emotions of those nearby as her own. A heightened sense of empathy intrinsic to her nature as an entelechy. In the course of her starfaring journey, if she encountered beings who strongly desired a cessation of their existence, she would be powerless before that desire. Even as she possesseth the power to grant it, the power of Dynamis. 'Tis my supposition that, overwhelmed by their longing for death, Medion did unleash Dynamis and ushered the dragons and the Ia unto their doom. Of course, such was not always the outcome. Full many stars did she find already lost to ruin. In order to create a terminus, however, the fervent desire for the end is essential. Therefore, should you struggle to find the way forward, pray ask yourselves this. In the place where you stand, whose is the soul that yearneth most desperately for oblivion? Why do you tell us this now? Ne'er again would I betray your trust. This pledge I did make to my comrades, and bringing thee into my confidence, I would remain true to my word. As for thee, let us consider it my fitting reward for the secrets I harbored for the Crystal Exarch. I once placed my faith in thy chosen path, walking at thy side, full knowing that we were bound for thy demise. I ask now that thou returnest the favor, and abide in faith as I fulfill mine own destiny. If you say my debt has come due, how am I to refuse? 'Tis indelicate of me, I know full well, and I can but beg thy forgiveness. Yet even if I must needs go to such lengths, I cannot well feign ignorance of the answer I have found within. The answer to the question, in what moment might I stand strongest? After all that we've been through, I will say only this. Do what you must, and see your conviction through. I shall, my friend, I shall. Without further ado, then, let us go to join our comrades. Let us be off to Elegea. Northeast. Can I run in the water? Sweet, I can. So if you're beginning to notice, the last zone is a giant patchwork of different worlds mashed together. I'm gonna go grab this. I attuned to this, did I? I don't remember. Okay, good. Alright, Lefty, let's do this. I did that mainly to check to see if it was attuned. I didn't want to accidentally skip it, but I also would like to have Lefty more active. It seems everyone is accounted for, shall we then? Once I finish this, I'm gonna end this part.
Tell us about this truth you discovered.
Very well. Bear in mind, however, that the purpose of this conversation is not to impart scholarly knowledge, for such requires that you comprehend the subject matter, which you will not. We will forego the intricacies of our scientific methodology and deal only with the conclusion, the end of our society and our world. We acknowledge, with regret, that your star is in the midst of the same panic-induced cataclysm that befell Deneb 3. As such, in order to avoid causing undue distress, we will refrain from explicitly stating how much time you have remaining.
You are entirely too kind. I pray you recount your tale as you see fit.
In the beginning, the universe was but a tiny particle. Then suddenly, this particle began to expand. Having remained entirely in the bounds of your star, the phenomenon may be difficult for your kind to grasp. But this expansion has since continued unabated. Speculating that the universe could not grow indefinitely, we sought to learn what might occur, and made a worrying discovery. The stars will continue to spread apart, as will their finite thermal energies. Eventually, all heavenly bodies will grow cold and freeze. No new stars will be born, and the universe will enter into an eternal ice age. In hopes of proving that this determination was erroneous, we scrutinized our research from all angles, even as we sought to avert the everlasting winter. The endeavor proved fruitless. So infamously so, in fact, that it became synonymous with vain effort. The universe as we know it would end, and there is no way to prevent it. Beneath the weight of this knowledge, our society stagnated. Though we had time still, it was a cold comfort. Why strive for anything when desolation is assured? When our wealth of wisdom, accumulated since the dawning of our kind, would be forever lost. No civilization would rise from our ashes. No scholar recover our knowledge. In silence unbroken, naught would stir. Intellect was once our pride. Overnight, it became our shame. Our works, monuments to futility. Immortality, our greatest invention, became a source of suffering. Rather than suffer on, many chose to unmake themselves by means of etheric exsanguinators. Etched upon these stones are the testaments of such souls. Though many left no words at all, thinking it a pointless gesture.
I definitely made their voices way different than what they are.
Once we have obtained vessels of flesh, we likewise intend to vanish. If you understand this, understand aught of our tale, you will abandon your quest for knowledge. Ignorance truly is bliss. If you would cling to your illusory happiness, remain primitive and pure. It is the only way.
So that's your story. While I appreciate your advice, I will not heed it. Convinced though you may be of this truth, it is yours and not mine. Indeed, truth, I have ever believed, is in the eye of the beholder.
Are you suggesting that we have reached a faulty conclusion? That our science failed us?
Hardly. As you yourself said, the subject matter is beyond my comprehension. And that, I accept, is true. I do not possess the knowledge to prove or disprove your conclusion. In my mortal years, I doubt I could even approach the wisdom of the air. But of one thing am I absolutely certain. I would not be happier in ignorance.
Y'shtola, no! You mustn't!
The most important lesson I've learned is that learning isn't simply passing one's eyes over words. Nay, 'tis when understood for oneself that knowledge attains its true value. This is what has sustained me, driven me onward in joy and wonder, in anger and sorrow. The universe may end, and all may be for naught, but I will live as I always have. I will always seek out new knowledge, and no conclusion of yours, no matter how grim, can dampen my desire.
I suppose it is only to be expected. Their feeble minds cannot fathom the terrifying gravity of it all. But worry not. We consider it our duty to enlighten you, and we will not stop until you grasp the full extent of our despair.
Keep calm and listen well. Though my body will soon dissipate, There may be a way to restore it. Atom's magic. So long as our souls remain, you can use it to summon us back. But you mustn't, for it would mean losing our way forward. This I only reveal so that you can promise not to invoke the magic. We came here knowing what victory may cost, so press on. Press on, and do not look back.
I shall join thee. As subterfuge is not required, thou shalt not suffer for mine absence.
Briange.
Double whammy.
My resolve hath never been as strong as thine. Full oft have I wavered in my decisions, and afterwards been stricken with regret. In spite of this, I may still stand with my comrades, supporting them as they attempt the greatest of feats. This truth I have learned in the course of our journey. And many though my shortcomings may be, I may also claim to excel in prophecies. My studies, into which have granted me the flexibility of mind needed to bend this malleable reality. Thus shall I hope that thou mayest have the strength to resist, and our comrades the strength to continue.
With you to urge us on, how could we possibly fail?
And so with that, our party is now effectively cut in half.
What's this? An extinguished civilization. Rekindled.
That's right. Our quest doesn't end here. We'll press on, and we will find you.
There. That's where you'll find me.
Is that another star?
Of the stars we visited, most were already devoid of life. And where there was life still, the inhabitants wished for death.
Hey, Bunny. Actually, I hope you're off today, because I've got today, tomorrow, I've got a few days that I could do some streams, and this is just the first stream for today. I'm going to take a little break after I finish this quest. Well, I'm sorry you're sick. Hopefully you get better soon. On a plus note, if you give me a few minutes after this stream, I'll pop right back on, and I'll do another 2 hours. So you will be able to enjoy time. Well, for the most part, because this story is kind of dark right now.
But even death, we learned, isn't truly the end. It is but a part of the cycle of rebirth. Souls return to the star, or in its absence, a larger flow. And eventually they are reborn, alive again, to know suffering anew. True salvation lies not in dying. It lies in not being born. This is the gift I would give to you. To all life on beautiful Aetheris. To that end, we created an egg wherein life cannot quicken. That dead sun. Attain it if you can, before your friend's emotions fade away, along with their protection.
So that big giant star, that giant ball of rock right now is where we're heading. I'll even take a look. That's where that's our target. We're in the middle of the expanse. We're on the edge of existence. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and leave this here. Thanks for joining up, Bunny, even though you got right at the very end. But like I said, a few more minutes, I'll be right back on, and it'll be just like you didn't miss a thing. Anyways, for everyone else, thank you all for watching. This has been part 157 of my live stream playthrough for Final Fantasy XIV. We are about, I think, 7 or 6 quests left before we hit the end. Yes, I will be right back. If you'd like to go ahead, give me a thumbs up, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber, keep up with the content. Comment down below. Trying to get through this really quick so I can pop back on. Tell me what you think about the game and my gameplay. There's no spoilers, please. And I will see you all in the next video. Catch you then. Later. Remember, Bunny, be right back. Bye then.